Welcome everybody to a very sad lazy Sunday, because a couple of days ago we started to walk a funeral march, if I can say so. I'm quite shocked actually, because in January we'll have to bury a meme. Thanks, Obama. On that note, welcome to a politically loaded Lazy Sunday, where we
again.
Yeah, again.
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Also 2 weeks in a row without Glenn. So I'm Pieter.
I'm Jasper.
Welcome
to Lazy Sunday. Wow, that was cool. That was really.
We're getting the hang of this shit, man.
Peter, what was your initial reaction upon hearing the news that Donald Trump is most likely becoming the new president of the United States?
I had a very maybe almost Eddie Murphy-like reaction when he made the joke in God knows what year about Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
Who then won God knows what election. It was like, every American gets drunk, goes to vote, and comes back out and goes like, I voted for Jesse Jackson. And then the day after, it was like, he fucking won. Something like that.
Okay.
Didn't get drunk, but had the day after the thing. So yeah, I was surprised, to say the least.
Did your initial reaction change from your current reaction?
No, although kind of had a... Well, what changed a bit is if you see him now, you know, the conversations he has with Obama and, you know, every part he has to do right now, you kind of see where this all, even more than you would suspect, is a game to him, right? Because he was all of a sudden, he was really positive about Obama, positive about Clinton, and you kind of get more of a well played kind of feel, if you know what I mean. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, and to me it was like Obama had the same feel when I saw him sitting next to him. He looked the same, like, you know, well played, dude. Well played.
It's very fascinating that, but we'll get into that meeting between those two.
Yeah.
My reaction at first, I wasn't surprised actually.
Alright.
I kind of saw it coming. The moment that Clinton could not destroy Trump in the debates,
Right.
I knew like it's over. And then when the FBA reinvestigated the emails a week before the election, like, okay, yeah, this is Trump is going to win. So it was not that.
Yeah, it was kind of a smart move on his part, as in, you know, damn it, this gap's getting pretty hefty. I'd better.
Well, that's the thing. Well, what about? Okay, so you're referring to the polls, right?
Yeah. Polls were the polls were as wrong as
wrong. So let's get into that first.
Yeah.
Are the polls still relevant? Because we saw that at Brexit. Brexit was the same scenario. Everyone's going to vote pro-Europe, and it turns out that they didn't. Everyone's going to vote pro-Hillary, and they didn't. 2 times they were completely wrong. Are they still relevant? Do we need?
Yeah, my concern, or my thought is a poll relevant if you're not, if voting is optional, if you know what I mean? Like in Belgium, you have to vote, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Well, you can vote.
Obliged to vote, yes.
Yeah, to go there.
Oh, to go, yeah, that's a new.
Because you can fill out a blank or anything, but I don't know if you have to register to vote, then my call is you are actually voting. You know.
Yes.
Although apparently that's not always the case, but still. But still, in a way, I don't know. Kind of lost my own track of thought there. Yeah, in the middle of my
We're
sentence.
talking about the polls.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay.
No, I mean, if it's optional to go vote, if you have to register, then I don't know if the polls are always that relevant, depending on who you take them on, which is always the case actually at any poll. It always depends on who you're asking. Because you know, you can go like, yeah, we ask 1,000 people this or that, and then my thought is yes, but if those 1,000 people all live in the same state, same fucking street, you know, then your poll is obsolete.
Most of the times, those polls are representative for the whole country, as they.
Well, they should if they're good, if they're done good, because it also depends on who's doing the poll. Because yeah, you're right. If they're done good, they should represent indeed an entire country. I don't know if all of them are as good, because we get polls thrown at us left and right.
Well, yeah. I think it's the phenomena of the hidden voter,
Yeah.
the one that didn't appear in the polls, that might have made a difference.
Yeah.
I don't really know why we're still bothered by those polls and why they keep bringing them up.
Yeah.
Because what is a poll? It means nothing.
I think the main reason of existence for those polls is for newspapers to actually have something to write about.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that,
Like their own narrative.
Yeah.
One of the other questions we
People keep like reading it, like Hillary got closer. Oh, Trump is getting back on track. Stuff. People just like reading about it. And I think the main reason of existence for those polls is just that, to have some people enjoy themselves.
Okay. Do you think the polls are guilty on the outcome of the elections?
No.
No?
I would not go that far.
Okay, that's strange. Or like, let's say the polls and the media in general.
Media maybe, but yeah. Okay, I see where you go with it. But I think there's more into what the media talks about more than the polls, because there's a lot more going on. The grab 'em by the pussy kind of thing. Not even considering it a good or a bad thing. Just all those news things. I think are a bigger addition to who wins than the actual polls.
Yes. Well, I think they kind of worked it into their hand. If you report only on this narrative that if you vote for Trump, you're a misogynist, you're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a blah 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 blah, even though you're not.
Right.
One of those things. You create this class of people who will vote only to protest against those allegations.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is what necked him, I think. Also, whenever you report on Hillary's leading by this, Hillary's leading by that, Trump makes no chance, whatever, or stands no chance, a lot of the voters are going to be like, okay, so I don't need to go then, right? I mean,
I'm not going because, hey, if he's got a chance, then Hillary's fine. There's also the thing, actually something I saw on Facebook this morning.
Oh, Facebook.
Yeah, well, I know. Then don't get no, not like from some random. Yeah, okay. Well, actually, it was pretty random.
Go ahead.
But it was a rant by I have no clue who.
Oh god, these rants, fantastic.
Yeah, but it was actually pretty good thing. First of all, based on the theory that a lot of people are going by, that if Sanders and not Clinton would have run, he would have made it by a landslide. Well, going on that.
Yeah, that's a what if scenario.
Yes, exactly. But starting from that, he went on a rant that he's a lefty, call it that, and that he made sure Trump, not people like him, made sure Trump won because.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of Bernie fans
went for Trump. I
don't know if they went for Trump.
Or did not go for Clinton.
At home.
Yeah, did not go for Clinton.
I don't give a shit anymore.
Maybe that's a better way. Yeah.
Especially with the last email case.
Yeah.
I think that was the definitive punch in Clinton's face. That the ones who voted for Bernie and then went on like, I don't really want Trump to win, so I'm going to vote Hillary even though I don't want to.
Yeah.
I think that's the moment when they were like, fuck it, I'm staying at home.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, sorry, just learned something new.
You learned something new?
Learn something new every day, man. Yeah. Hope Trump does. Yeah, but still, now the entire circus is
God damn it, it's a fucking circus.
It's
I think it's the only appropriate way that America could have reacted. To just drama everywhere, and it's the end of the world. It's the Trumpocalypse who is coming near us, and everyone has to fear for his or her life. And oh fuck, dude, whatever.
Well, the only thing is, you know, a president is only as strong as the people behind him, because the days where a president just says A or B and it happens is long gone.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if you look who the names are to step in with him,
yeah,
that kind of alarms me more.
Mike Pence, for instance. Is he a proper candidate? I think.
I think he is, or I could be wrong, but I think he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all the stuff like that. Our good friend, God, what's her name? Sarah Palin is being named again.
Oh, really?
I forget for what, you know.
Oh shit.
I forget for what function. What her name's popped up somewhere. And you know, you should definitely rely on people anyone who makes the awesome statement, polar bears are not endangered, they're just unlucky.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites by her, actually. I have to be honest.
Well, let's be honest, it will be a fun time for comedians.
Oh, comedians ever since Bush was out, comedians have had issues to find good jokes about it.
Yeah.
They're back. They're fucking back. Because the problem with Obama was they could only make fun of him before he was actually elected. Then they could go all out, you know.
Yeah. What do you think of the results in general? Have you seen the numbers?
I've seen some numbers, so I know it like in absolute numbers. Clinton wins.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, she's over 73 or 76, I think, chairs behind.
Trump has 306 electoral votes, and she has 232. So that's a lot.
That's about that 70, right? I was not that far from 70 something.
And in absolute numbers, Trump has 47.4%. She has 47.7%.
Yeah, isn't it like about 100,000 votes difference?
I think it's 300,000.
Oh, still that many. Okay.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes it worse.
Yeah, in percentage it seems quite small. In numbers it's a bit bigger.
There's a lot of people out there.
Uh-huh. So what do you think of that? This is the fourth time a candidate wins the popular vote, but not the electoral vote.
Right. Well, I think in a way it's kind of, you know, that's just how the system works, and you kind of have to deal with that. If I can.
Okay, but don't you think the system is broken then?
Well, the most funny thing about it, I think, is that the first guy who said quite a while back that the system is broken is Trump.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a...
Probably. Trump says a lot of things.
That's true.
Inflicts himself.
I will give you that. So. But, you know, well, let's be honest. If you won by, you know, if your goal is to win and you win by that system, you're gonna, you know, not care that that's the system. Because you just fucking won. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, Trump doesn't care about...
Oh, you know,
he's a narcissist, you know?
Would you, if you were in his place?
He wants the power. Power!
Yeah, but, you know, I just find it funny that he was the first one to say, hey, this system's not right.
Well, he was not the first one.
Well, no, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
First in the row, as in, I'll tell him.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell the population what they want to hear. I'm not a puppet.
I didn't know Trump was a Disney character. Disney character,
yeah. But getting back at the electoral system,
yeah, it's
kind of strange that for a democracy they have an undemocratic voting system.
That's true.
That's why that's how the electoral system got there in the first place. The founding fathers were a bit afraid of the people, and they wanted to take away a bit of the power, and that's why they have an electoral vote.
Yeah. That's true.
The ones who are protecting and are pro-electoral voting system are going to say that they electoral vote saves the smaller states, but that's of course bullshit. It has nothing to do with that. But it's a very weird thing because, in theory, Hillary could still win because only 26 states, the electors of 26 states, are bound to vote in the respective of their
election outcome.
Population, popular votes. So in theory,
she could still,
It has never happened, but it's to me, that's dangerous. That sounds very dangerous. That people could choose A, and the electoral votes could be B.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking up the idea of democracy.
Yeah.
Not kind of. It's actually totally fucking up the idea of democracy. So yeah, I get how you say it's dangerous. Although I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, of course not. But the fact that it's possible, still there, and that it's possible, is quite alarming.
That's true. Hey, damn it. Oh, there you go.
So, but let's switch to some what-if scenarios. What is this going to mean for the future?
Well, the thing I was thinking, although I will have to involve a bit of Russia in there to get it going.
We'll need to talk about the foreign policies because
this
is still a world.
Yes, exactly. Because one of the advisors of Putin said that the American voter actually only had two options. They either chose Trump or they chose World War III.
Yeah, that's very... It's a bit... It's very unnuanced, but yeah. Yeah,
that's that's very true. But yes, that's about, where he was trying to get at. I'll put it that way. And in a way, I think that this solution or whatever happened right now could make sure that there is a bigger how do I put that, a peace moment, but in a very, very wrong way. Because right now you've got Trump, Putin, and what's the Chinese dude's name, who are all really close friends.
Yeah, indeed.
And then, so you kind of get to the thing where you start getting afraid that if there's like an international, God knows what, whatever these guys is gonna say is gonna go.
Yep, indeed. That's the very dangerous thing that could happen because Trump is wants to get along well with Putin, or that is what he said.
Yeah.
But given the fact that Putin and his expansionism is kind of real, it's a bit dangerous. Also, what about Syria? Because Trump doesn't want to do anything about it.
It's all stuff like that, which kind of has me more than alarmed a bit.
Yeah, that's also the thing that I'm quite alarmed about. Not necessarily what's going to happen with America, but I think the foreign policies seem more endangered than his national policies.
Yeah, because I think for America itself, Trump might not be that bad. But
that
you know what I mean.
Depends. If you look at his economic plan throughout the campaign, he said multiple times that he wants this protectionist.
Excuse me.
He has a bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
And America.
Trump has multiple times said that he wants a very protectionist way of handling the economics. So bye Chinese import, bye trade agreements, America first. But by doing that, you isolate your country, and that is really not
how you do it these days.
Yeah, indeed. So that he has to do something like that on the short term because he promised it. But on the long term, I don't really see it getting a definite or good end results for America.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Maybe it will be better in the beginning, but yeah.
Well, he
has to do it.
He has to do some of his more radical points of the campaign because he promised it.
If he doesn't do
that,
just to be believable.
Yeah, he shoots himself in the foot.
He would indeed fuck himself if he did not do that.
Yeah. It also seems like globalism is the new socialism.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago when Obama was becoming president, it was all, oh, he's a socialist, he's that, he's that. It was like almost like scolding.
Yeah.
This time it's globalism. Globalism is the danger, it's the enemy, it's this, it's that.
Yeah, we all have to get back to our own strengths, our own, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause that goes for both Brexit and
oh yeah, most definitely. Let's see. It's also the free market implies that you can buy cheaper products because of import, right?
yeah.
So basically that's good for the consumer. It's not fantastic for the work employer, but the consumer
All right.
still benefits from that. With Trump, it could be that the consumer gets fucked all over again, which is weird because he was anti-establishment, right?
That's true.
So with his protectionist views, it conflicts his.
Well,
You know
he
what I'm
conflicts a lot, so that's it's one of the things where he he contradicts himself.
Also, let's not forget that America is still a country in our world, and like any countries, America depends on the economy.
Right.
So the world economy still is a determined factor in Trump's vision. So that means that whenever the world does bad, America will do bad, and vice versa.
Yeah, that's true.
We have to know that Trump is still a businessman.
Oh yeah.
He is a business. Let's not forget about that. You can
He's
cry-
a rather successful business.
Yeah, you can cry all you want about the dangers and this and that and the economics despair and whatever. He's still a businessman, and I think he wants to do the best for America.
Yeah, I am still on a term where I think, that's still what he wants to do. He's still an American trying to be proud of his country, trying to make his country proud. So, and that is, well, maybe not these days, but in a way, that's still the number one priority of a president is keep your people happy.
Yeah, indeed. Well, he will do that by creating jobs. We will have more jobs, more this, more this. What do you think of that? Is that realistic?
The problem is, I think, and that's the thing where you can quite easily make a good news show about it, because he would like to up the army again.
Yep.
And so, yeah, but first of all, that's going to cost him a lot of money he doesn't have, because the army's already, well, quite bankrupt. But then, like, within 2 years, you can go, hey, look, we created this many jobs. Yeah, but that's just your soldiers, dude. It's easy to make a good news show about it.
Yeah.
And maybe not even in the right way.
Okay. It's fascinating that he's claiming that he will create those jobs and blah, 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 blah. You'll heard the whole narrative. But there's no one in the world that can make growth appear out of nothing.
That's true.
You cannot create something that is not there with these imaginary things. So you can only work with the deficit spending, which will work on a short term. On a longer term, however, I think he will create more depth.
I think that is indeed the main issue that... Okay, wait, what the fuck? Give me one second. There we go. I think indeed that's going to be the main issue.
One of the advantages that he has is that he starts in a reasonable good economy. So I think there's a growth of 3%.
Right.
And the unemployment rate is at 4.9%. So that's a fairly good economy. He has said multiple times that he wants to double everything. It's quite impossible if things are already that good looking.
Yeah, but still, he's that's his strong point in a way.
Yeah. So it's a bit unrealistic what he has said.
Well,
I think that if you look at those numbers, an American could think, "Fuck yeah, cool. Our country is growing, but I'm not growing. So what about I?
Yeah,
what about me? Yeah. And that's the polarization that America faces today. Because let's face it, if we saw one thing, it's that the whole country is divided.
Oh yeah, very true. Well, you could see by the votes, if it's a 50-50 vote, you've already got. And I think more than ever, the pro-Hillary were, really strongly anti-Trump and vice versa. More than you'd normally get.
Yes, indeed.
So that might be one of the issues, I think.
I remember one of those others really dangerous things Trump has said. Climate.
Oh, yeah.
It's
a
gone.
hoax.
It's really the whole climate policy. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone will.
Back to fossil fuels. Back to
Yep. The good coal, as he has said, and mine everything because America has the most fossils in this and that, and any other country. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, that's getting us back to the Bush era.
Yep. And that is not a good prospect.
Not great. Yeah.
But then we have to ask, where does Trump align with his Republican Party? Because in the campaign it was made clear that some of the Republicans do not endorse Trump whatsoever.
Yeah.
And although we have a full-on Republican Congress, it does not necessarily mean that Trump gets all the might or all the power.
No.
So we'll have to wait for that, right?
We will have to wait for that, but that's kind of where I think the people he chooses is, he'll know who to get behind him. I think.
Let's hope that he knows.
Well, no, but also to do whatever he wants to do, so not always in a good way. If that kind of makes sense. Not always in the best way, because he is that businessman, so he knows how to do that.
Well, Trump said something about the tax cut and whatever, and we should also know that Republicans or the Republican Party.
You go for a minute.
The Republican Party is supported by multinationals.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they, especially when the protectionism and immigration stop, I don't think the multinationals think that's a good idea or a good prospect or a good future.
Well, that's just the thing as well, that people keep thinking that, or don't seem to realize that it would have been equally bad with Clinton, because Clinton had her her head up companies' asses so damn high.
We would have had the exact same scenario.
Yeah.
The only difference is that the identity politics are gone, which I can only applaud.
Yeah,
because fuck that. You're white, you're male, you're fucking guilty about everything, blah 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 blah, racist, misogyny, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Let's hope that the social justice ends, or at least the identity politics in this social justice.
I think that will.
I think it's death of that.
Yeah.
Social justice identity,
which is not in itself is not a bad thing.
No.
But yeah.
What? You oppose me, Pieter? Well, that means you're a racist and you're a misogynist and you hate feminists and you hate women and you hate...
Yeah. That's the thing, because Trump gets away with it simply going, I'm not a racist, but I'm going to build a wall around Mexico because they're all
that
rapists.
Thing is going to fail miserably. He can't do that.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I'm not racist, but I'm going to build a wall around Mexico and make them pay for it because they're all rapists. But I'm not racist.
Well, he didn't say that they're all rapists. He said that Mexico
they bring rapists.
Rapists.
They bring rapists, and I know.
That's a small nuance.
I know, but you know where I'm trying to get at.
I understand.
I kind of I didn't do it the right way, but
But let's get back to the polarization in America, because if anything, the numbers have showed us that there are two Americas right now.
Yeah.
You have the Bible Belt and the coasts. There is no United States, it seems.
No, it's the divided states of America. Yeah, that's very true. Worse than ever. I mean, it's really it's really visible that it's never been this bad, I think.
No, I don't. I don't really know, because I don't know that much about American history, but
oh wow,
it seems really, really bad.
Sorry. Yeah. I've never known it to be. I am an idiot. I've never known it to be this.
I'm dead.
Sorry.
Nothing. Stupid dad joke.
All right.
Whatever you were saying.
No, that the division indeed has never been this noticeable in the first place. Which is kind of weird because 8 years ago, the first.
Oh yeah,
the first black president ever.
Fucking different.
Yeah.
And you would think that the first black president would
have been
this
the big one.
giant opposition of racist and whatever, but those were the minorities.
Yeah, and now
with
Hillary
what happened?
Yeah, what
happened?
In 8 years, someone fucked up. A lot of people actually fucked up.
Yeah. Well, you have the immigration.
Oh Jesus, scared shit out.
They want to revolt against the ruling class. There's so much inequality that I think a lot of people felt that they are lost in this new world, so they want to grab back to the tradition probably, and then you have two opposite sides.
But then I read something or saw something actually, because it was in it was a rally, so it was on video, where Trump was saying, I'm not accepting any pay if I get elected, because he wants to clean out the pigsty, if I can, well, that's actually, because he wants to clean out the pigsty, which kind of to me was weird. So, his logic was, which totally doesn't make sense, but anyway, if I don't get any pay for it, because, he's wealthy enough as it is, he will not be able to be bribed. To get the corrupt, everything corrupt out of it. Now, totally doesn't make sense, because people can bribe you not by paying you your yearly or monthly salary. They can actually bribe you by other money. So that logic totally doesn't make sense. But still, I thought it kind of was a surprise to hear Trump say that.
Yeah. Well,
I'm actually not sure if he's not taking any pay. So that was a rally quite a while back, and maybe he hopes his maybe he hopes the people voting for him have a very short-term memory, which is actually something he said quite a while back.
Oh yeah,
because he used to be a Republican. He used to be Democrat, and then
didn't he once say that if he wants to run for president, he would run the Republican side because they are easy to manipulate or something like that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Because he used to be
good job, Republicans. Good job.
In proving him right, yeah.
Well, I don't think that
but you know what I mean.
All the Trump voters voted for Trump per se.
I'll give you that.
It's more like, I don't like Clinton, but it's my duty to vote, so...
Well, depending on, because that goes back to our discussion of how good the polls are, or how relevant the polls are these days. There was, however, a statistic showing how many of the Clinton voters voted for Clinton because they hated Trump, and how many of the Trump voters voted for Trump because they hated Clinton.
Okay.
And that was both a surprising lot. Both Clinton and
probably
Trump got over 50%.
I don't...
if you know what I mean.
If this election has proved anything, that is that people didn't necessarily vote because of their candidate. People voted because something they didn't want.
Yeah.
That's not the way you should vote.
That's Big Brother voting.
Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, that means that you can embrace a candidate that has some points that you don't agree with, but because of the other one has more points you don't agree with.
Yes,
you still elected that one candidate that has points you don't agree with. So
yeah, exactly. I kind of also had kind of the thought, might just be me being stupid, but this is the era of Facebook and stuff like that. There's plenty of online platforms. How did not even one person come up with the idea, hey, let's vote for one of them independent?
Because
you know what I mean?
That's a wasted vote.
Well, not if everyone does it.
Well, that's the thing. No one's going to do it.
Well, yeah, that's the main issue.
It's a very utopian vision on the let's vote on an independent or third party. you do know. I mean, that's the reality. Those parties don't do well just because of the fact that no one votes for them. It's a vicious circle.
Yeah,
that you cannot break because.
Yeah, I know, but if you want to change something, that's actually the way to do it. Is breaking a vicious circle, because the vicious circle is literally what makes the world not change.
Yeah, but you could do it, and
yeah, maybe two other guys will do. I get it.
That's it. That's a problem.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They had 4.3% combined, I think. So Jill Stein and Gary Johnson were the most successful, and they had 4.3% of all votes, which is not a lot.
Which is indeed not a lot. I'll agree with you on that one. But yeah, I know it's utopia to think it's gonna work, but you know, with these days platforms, you'd have a bigger chance than 1989.
Yeah. I don't know about that really. It's.
Well, I see where you're getting it. I see what you mean by it, or I get what you mean by it.
I think when you really want that change in terms of the drastic change, so revolution, you need to use violence. That is what history has taught us. If you want that drastic change, violence is the way.
Which is sad, kind of, but
which is really but that's the way you overrule the ruling class.
Yeah.
French Revolution, Russian Revolution, American Revolution.
Yeah, but I agree with you. It's just sad that that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I do totally agree with you.
Who said that quote of when you want peace, you need to bring war? Someone has said that.
Actually, okay, this is gonna sound pretty stupid, but who cares? I sound stupid a lot, so.
Well, if you can learn one thing from the elections, that is stupid is all right, Peter. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, by the way, if I go on a job interview and the dude dares say, "Yeah, you're not qualified," fuck you, Trump's president.
Well, Trump is qualified though. He is 35 and
well, you know
he's
what I mean.
American citizen, so he's qualified.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, man. Literally speaking, he is qualified. Yeah, go ahead. What was he?
Yeah. Is actually again, because that's the second time I'm going to do that. Is a Homer Simpson quote.
Homer Simpson quote.
Yeah, where he was in a submarine, and it was lunchtime, I think.
Yeah.
And on the table was just one big mountain of peas, because it's army. They can only eat what's supplied, So it was a big mountain of peas, and this captain.
Haha, symbolism.
Yeah, this captain went like, "Homer, what do you want in life?" Yeah, Homer obviously goes like, "Peas." Yeah, the captain goes, "We all want peace, but what's the best way to get peace?" And by the time he had said that, Homer had taken up a knife from the table because he couldn't reach the peas, so he could reach like 3 peas.
Oh yeah, okay.
What's the best way to get peace? And Homer was like, "With a knife." Exactly, Homer. That still remind me. I still got to think about that one because
it's so great. Oh my god, and they have foreseen the future because in the year 2000...
Oh yeah, the Trump thing. That was awesome.
President Trump. And then Lisa was president, I think?
Yeah. But it was pretty awesome how... Yeah, they foresaw it. There's a lot of scenes, actually, even that they...
God, but in retrospect, you can see patterns everywhere,
If you want,
look for something,
if you look for something, you can indeed. That's very true, but it was still funny, though. I wouldn't, I'm not gonna take it into account that happened, but it was funny. And yeah, if you want to search for symbolism, you can find it wherever you want. That's the fun thing about symbolism. Oh wow.
Maybe we should. We're like what? 40 minutes in. We can
end already? Jesus.
Yeah.
God, we're good.
Things go fast if you enjoy yourself.
That's true. I'm kicking the shit out of a lot of dudes, so maybe that's why.
Ah, come on.
Wee. Sorry.
A last question: from whom would you have voted?
Oh, fuck you.
And think carefully, because the world will raise in anger if you don't use the proper candidate.
Actually, might want to take this moment into play to mention my favorite, because some some people, well, like in Belgium, if you vote, write down their own things, which don't count, obviously. But you know what I mean?
Of course not.
But you know what I mean, right?
But that's dumb. Why did you do that?
I know, but it's fucking original.
Okay.
If the one you're writing down is Lionel Messi. I mean, come on, it's stupid, but it's fucking funny.
But why did they... All people who do stuff like that, especially in Belgium, don't, because that way you make the bigger parties even bigger and the smaller smaller. So stop doing that. If you want to waste your vote, stay at home. Which is not necessarily wasting your vote, because not voting is also voting.
In Belgium, not voting is not better, actually.
It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to change in Belgium.
No, that's true.
They still have to cooperate with all these parties, so it doesn't matter. It's
but
same
indeed,
thing.
Don't fucking waste your vote by being a dick. And oh shit, that was fast. Because indeed, like you said, if you don't vote or write something wrong down, you are making indeed the big parties even bigger.
Well, not necessarily. If you don't vote, you don't do that. If you go vote and you fill in your ballot and you write something stupid, you do.
Well, if you leave it blank too, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But that's also when you went out to vote. If you stayed at home, you did nothing actually.
Except for get a ticket for it.
What?
In Belgium.
Yeah.
In theory,
you have a ticket. Indeed.
I think it was like 2 elections ago they stopped doing that.
And I don't think they did, but it's just pointless. They're not going to do that. They have better things to do. Trust me on that one.
Yeah, parking tickets. Sorry. That personal frustration. Hell no. But yeah. You are totally right.
But that's really a message I want to spread across.
Yeah, do not.
If you want to go and vote, this is of course in Belgium. Where if you want to go and vote, but don't do it like, oh, I'm gonna write something on my page, because then you're actually wasting your vote.
And
so if you want to do stuff like that, stay at home because you didn't waste your vote.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so who would have I voted for? That was probably not the idea.
That was the question. If you were an American citizen.
Jesus. I would have actually voted for
Jesus?
I would have voted for Jesus. Yeah. I always vote for Jesus.
Jesus saves.
Passes to Moses. Moses scores. Anyway, that's so fucking lame. Every Christian person hates me now. No, I would have voted for one of the independent ones, simply not to throw away my vote to make a big party bigger, but still to...
Well, but in that retrospect, you didn't make them bigger or smaller. You voted for the independent party. So it's very mathematical. You look confused.
Yeah, you fucking lost me now.
In Belgium, in Belgium, the amount of votes or percentage of all the votes from a party are calculated on the amount of votes that...
Oh, yeah,
So if 100 people appear and 70 of them vote for the Christian Democrats,
or whatever,
have 70%, right?
Right.
If 120 people appear, they will calculate on the 120 people. If 50 people appear, they will count on 50 people, right? etc. But that means that from those 100 people or 120 or 50 people, there could be a margin of people who wasted their vote by scribbling something on a paper, right?
Right.
But they are still in that pool of 100 people or 120 people.
Yes.
Okay?
I'm following you.
But, okay, so we're going to, let's make sure that I'm not confusing myself.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. So you have the 100 people who voted.
Yes.
Those small percentage of losers who scribbled something on a paper.
Yep, people.
But the total amount of people who should have voted were 300. That means that 200 people did not vote.
Obviously.
Those people are not, how should I say, those people are not accountable, or the percentage of votes will not be made on 300 people, but on 100 because those 100 made a vote.
Yeah, but I would make a vote just for one of the independent ones.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
that
I get
means
it, I
that
get it, I
you're
get it.
in the percentage of people who voted and did actual thing. And if you made a scribble, you wasted your vote because you're still in.
Yeah, that I get.
Yeah.
That I get. But yeah, so yeah, I would vote for one of the independent ones.
Okay.
Simply, it's kind of awkward to say, but I would not want to be a part of either Hillary or Trump becoming president.
No.
So, you know, that's why I would vote for an independent party.
Trump or Hillary supporters would have said that you made it so because you didn't vote Trump or Hillary, so you made
Yeah, I get
the
it.
other one appear.
Oh,
as
they're welcome
president.
to think that. They're very welcome.
What, Peter? You support freedom of speech? That's
I do.
impossible.
No, it's not. I work in an internet company. Of course, I have to. I have to, or I get fired.
Okay.
By me.
So, a third party vote. Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
I would have stayed at home.
Good point.
Fuck that.
Good point.
Seriously.
Good point.
Fuck that.
That's a good call.
Which is still the majority of people, I think.
Oh.
They stayed at home. I think. Or was like 40? No.
Well, I think it's something like in the Belgian elections where you kind of get a mix in between I go because I want to make a change, then you got the I go because I have to kind of people, and then you get the I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
You also have people who give a shit, but they don't want to participate in that current system. It's also a lot of the non-voters, just like me.
Yeah.
And again,
good
not
point.
voting is still a vote in sometimes.
Yes, depending on what
Depending
system
on
you're
your
in.
motivation.
Good point. So you would have just stayed home. Actually. Okay.
Yeah. I don't participate in... Not with that system. Not with those candidates. Fuck that.
All right.
Especially in what the fuck? I can only go. Okay, this is very slow, but whatever. I'm
You're
currently
driving
racing
the
with the
Fiat
Fiat
500.
500. Holy shit, that thing is slow.
I know. I once did a 64 round thing on the NASCAR thing against my dad. It took fucking forever.
What was I saying that?
And we were too stubborn to quit.
Okay, in the US I wouldn't vote because of the electoral system. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. In Belgium I don't vote because nothing is going to change because the parties still have to cooperate with one another. There's only small changes over a couple of years.
Yeah, indeed, very small changes can be.
So that's my motivation in a nutshell. It's very unnuanced, but
but I get
let's
it.
go fast. Right?
Just a thought, just a kind of fun thing in between. Would you have gone for a third Obama if you could? Obviously, you're not an American citizen, but you know what I mean.
Depending on... I would like to see Obama with a Congress that supports him.
Right. Because that was one of the main Obamacare issues.
6 years he has nothing but to do with fight against the Congress. And that's why a lot of things failed, and that's why...
Yeah.
But
it's like Obamacare, because what he had in mind was awesome.
Oh yeah, but what people remember is Obama and not the Congress, because he is the head of the state,
that's
so
true.
it's all Obama's fault.
Yeah, but that's also why, because a lot of people would say no to a third Obama, I think, but that's why I'm asking you, because I know you know what's playing behind it. But like, how about Obama with a what do you call that? A free card or a wild card?
Yeah.
Do your stuff.
Yeah.
You gone for that?
Yep.
Right.
Just because I want to see what he would have done.
He'd come up with.
In a lot of cases, he has the vision. He has the plans. He knows what's supposed to happen in America, but he couldn't do it because of fucking Congress.
Yeah, that's true. Oh
so,
wow.
Yeah, if Obama with a wild card, yeah, why not? I mean, look at the guy. He's so charming. You want to eat him?
Really?
Why not?
Is that a racist chocolate joke?
No, that's what you infer from it.
I know, because it's too easy not to do.
Have you seen that that shot where he was talking to the crowd after Trump got elected, and Joe Biden gave him kind of a hug?
No, actually.
I'll show it after this. Very cute. How can you not love Obama?
Well, Obamacare has changed my life. Don't take away my guns, my jobs.
Anyway, South Park moment. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Anyhow, I think it's
But-
time to end the episode. Maybe any closing thoughts?
Well, just about the Obama and Trump together vision.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason, I had a sense like when they met, Obama would have gone like, "We'll play it, Trump. We'll play."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He kind of looked like it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just because you bring this up, I still want to tackle this one as
Right.
last.
Yeah, sure. We're having too much
Subject.
fun. We can't stop. Oh man. Yeah.
What do you think of the speech Trump gave? Because it was a very different Trump than we're used to.
Yeah, it was. He was a lot.
He was very mild. He was very friendly.
And in a way, I think, or how I pictured it, or how I saw it, was just, that's just how elections in the US go, but then like times 10. You know what I mean? It's always, they're always being pissed off at each other. They're always the worst, you know, their opponent is always the worst candidate ever. But it's like, they did that, but times 10. And then, yeah, he also became mild times 10. You know, he really narrowed it back. As to where Hillary was a very good person, and now Obama's a really good person.
Oh,
although
they're also lovely.
although
and comely.
tweeting, you know, that he was the worst president ever.
Yeah, and he
Which
has
is bullshit.
to show his immigration paper, the birth certificate, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. It will be very fascinating
Yeah.
to see if he can still hold up his persona of the bully mongering racist blah 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 that got his election. Or,
Yeah, I don't think he can do that. Maybe in short term, but I think he's gonna keep up with that.
yeah, I don't know.
I kind of hope he doesn't.
He has, although his climate, the economic climate seems reasonable, he has to bring two camps together, and I think that's one of the worst things a president has to do.
Yep, very true.
It's a fucking horrible job, and I would not want to be in his place because
Well, either way.
I don't think he can win from this. He can only lose.
Yeah, but maybe in that case, you might think he might be the only one with enough cash already to take that risk.
The thing is that the nuance is dead.
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
just blank statements, just black and white. There's no.
Yeah, but what if he brings it back?
In between. Come on.
No, in that sense, that to me, the entire election to him was just a game.
Yeah.
He played an entire.
Probably.
And
Well, that's the question, of course, right now.
is it still?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he won it now, but is it still a game? You know, or is he finally going to start taking shit seriously and get first of all that nuance back? Oh Jesus! First of all, yeah, get that nuance back, and maybe in the other case, you know, like you said, try to get those two sides of the U.S. back together, because that's going to be the main issue, I think.
Will be difficult. Will be very difficult. Any closing statements?
That was my closing.
That was the closing statement. Okay, so by that we will end the episode. Thank you for listening or watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks, unless something pops up this week that we feel like we should talk about.
Like what happened now?
World War III.
I don't know. You think it's gonna be that bad?
Nah.
See you guys.
I don't think so. Bye.